So tell me, how do you feel about high school sports?
I think high school sports is going in a great direction that it's going in now. The only problem with it is we need to get more eyes on the high school kids. So instead of them having to be a ESPN 300 or 500, well, it's a lot of kids around this state of the U.S. that we stay in that don't get the eyes on them because they're not the all-out baller or they're not doing what catches our eyes, but they're doing more things that stands out more. Like somebody might get a double-double or a triple-double, or he got 10 rebounds with 10 assists or something that actually catch other people's eyes, but don't catch the necessarily big schools or the big colleges' eyes. That's why I think the high
Not to
school
mention
is
the players coming off the bench.
exactly. You're giving everybody a chance, and by us doing this and heading in the direction that it's going, you can help everyone get their chance to shine. It's just not on the big name. You can actually put it on the small school and find out, okay, there's 3 players in this small school that are actually good as this one big guy that everyone has their eye on. So I love the direction that the high school is going in. If they keep it up the way that they're keeping it, yeah, it's going in a great direction. A great direction.
So, what part of the area of Georgia are you located in?
I'm located in Hampton, Georgia, but I'm from the west side of Atlanta, so the Doug, the Washington, your Mays, and all those type of high school from the south side to the west, yes.
And which one of those would you say right now stands out the most to you?
Gotta be gotta be Washington. To me, gotta be Washington. You would say Doug because they have all the big domes or whatnot that was rebuilt, but Washington actually balled better than them, and you really wouldn't know that or pay attention to it unless you're there.
Do you think kids nowadays are taking high school sports as seriously as we took it?
No, nah. I think it's gotten a lot softer because it's more TVs and phones and tablets or whatnot in your face more than it was when we were coming up. Because when we was coming up, we was already doing this without our parents pushing us. We wanted to do it. Nowadays, yeah, we have to push it to the point where we're putting our kids in it and making them play it because you want them to have that backbone. You don't want them to be that soft kid or whatnot, but you do want them to have that little backbone, whether it's football, basketball, whatever. I tell everybody this anyway. Don't just put your kids in like basketball or football, man. Put them in tennis, put them in golf, put them in soccer. Let them be all around. So when they get up there and they can feel comfortable in choosing, what they want to do.
More opportunities.
Exactly. More opportunity. Like we're just sending our kids eyes just for, okay, we just gonna put you in basketball. But he might be a beast in baseball or something. But you'll never know because you never gave it a try. Yeah, let them try it out. Let them try everything.
All right. You wanna shout out?
Oh yeah,
No.
shout out to my wife, Keisha Food. We we deliver. You call, we'll make your food right there, fresh. Bring it to you. The number is 404-904-231D3. And again, that's Keisha Food. Yes, sir.
Days, it's a lot more going on to get the youth involved in the next step, the next level, the next phase of their career. Um, Definitely enjoy what they're doing with the programs as far as the recruiting and putting players in a better position, no matter where they come from. I definitely enjoy watching high school football and basketball. Didn't get around to a lot of baseball prior last year, but I watched a lot of basketball and football, and I'm liking the way it's going here in Georgia. Couple of good teams, a couple of good players right in the nation. Like a guy from my side, the dude Anthony, which is one of the top players in the nation. It's good to see him, but overall, I mean, it's the best time of some of these kids' life. It's gonna be the best time of some of these kids' life. Just like us, it's gonna be the only ball some of these people play, but it's a good learning experience as far as a team and putting forth an effort to something bigger than yourself, and giving these guys a good idea of what it's like in the real world in a lot of ways when you transition over into adulthood. But a lot of these programs are doing some good things, like I said, about getting these kids exposure and helping them further their careers, even if it's not to college. There's so many other outlets now for them to play and really embrace the next phase. So, I mean, I'm excited about sports in 2019, definitely. I have a kid coming up, be a senior next year at DM Thero guard, number 14. Calvin Middle playing with some other very talented players over there at DM Thero High School. So I'm just excited to see what outcome of this venture and, you know, just the next budding stars and athletes that we'll see. You know, I talk.
You don't got nothing on the side? You got numbers? Anything you need to do?
I mean, I just shout out my son, you know what I'm saying, his team, and, you know what I'm saying.
So in 2019, how do you feel about high school sports in America?
Well, as far as over there in Saudi Arabia, we don't really have any players that play in high school. They only got clubs. So even I've seen high school players like over here on YouTube and stuff like that. Like I couldn't believe the ages of these kids, like from 13 and up. So like the kids over here in high school, they can definitely destroy anybody that's out there in Saudi Arabia. So I'm actually kind of surprised how kids over here can really play.
So in 2019, how do you feel about high school sports?
High school sports these days, it has changed. It's become more of a, to me personally, it's become more of a who is the dominant player, who has the dominant school, who has the dominant anything. More or less, I'm saying that in the fact of these children in this generation have talent and they have intelligence, but for some reason, unlike our prior or previous generation, it's harder for this generation to merge them together. But once they merge them together, once again, you get that dominant player or that dominant school or that dominant sport. So this day and age in 2019, high school sports is evolving the same way technology is evolving, the same way Android went away and iPhone became the top-notch, seller or maker. It went from high five sports on what you all see on news or on a cable subscription to now these boys are playing in domes, not just the Georgia Dome, not just in Atlanta. These guys are traveling on planes to go play, and not just football, not just baseball. Your lacrosse teams in high school now have $100 jerseys. Your soccer teams in high school now are recruiting coaches that are out of state. I've actually heard of a school here in the county that we live in that actually got banned for doing something like what Sean Payton and the New Orleans Saints were doing. So it just goes to show you how elevated the level of high school sports has become. It's on a totally different caliber than it was before, and it's definitely something that these kids at this day and age have got to take a hold of, and you got to be stronger than you were before. You got to be stronger than, let me rephrase that, you got to be stronger than we were. When I say we, I want to say my generation. I'm 35 years old, so we all know my generation, but we got these younger players have to be stronger than we were, because it's a lot more adversity facing them now. It's a lot out there that's facing them. It's a lot that's gonna try and grab them and pull them back. More if everything pulls them back, then it pushes them forward. And I think that's where most of our talent and our good players go. It's so much out there. I mean, guys that run into the store, guys you see at the red light running across the street. I was a coach for 10 years, so everything I see when I see an individual, I size them up, not to fight him, just to see his athleticism. If I see a pedestrian run across the street, I'm looking at his sprint ability. I'm seeing if he's on the balls of his feet or if he's on his toes. It's just, this day and age has really changed, and these players and these youth have got to change with it.
Marvelous Jazz.
I keep it
turn up to the man, yeah.